One from Cincinnati this evening. Everyone, welcome in. The final score 4-2. This is the Card Central postgame show. I'm Sara Dayley alongside Joe Roderick, and it's a Saturday holiday weekend. But hey, the Cardinals pull one off. Michael McGreevy, an absolutely stellar performance once again. The kids come up, and he hasn't gone 6 innings or less in every performance and outing for the Cardinals. It's looking like this bring up here, and this guy on the mound is actually doing his job for the Birds, and it's really nice to see.
Yeah, I'm really glad that I'm on here after a McGreevy start, because I've made it very well known all season long how much of a fan I am of Michael McGreevy and everything he's done with the Cardinals last year, in spring training this year, and now every chance that he's had and every opportunity that he's had, to where Bernie Miklasz and I we're both bringing it up with our shows and his columns and his videos a couple weeks ago. And I have stated this. I said this the other day. I said this on Friday when I was doing the show with Brendan. Like, I'm tapped out after the Yankees series. Like, I've stopped believing that they had a chance at the wild card. You know, they could sweep this series. They could sweep the A's. I'm not going to fall for that trap again. I'm not. But it frustrates the hell out of me to play the what if game, wondering just how good or what this record would be if McGreevy was in there all season long. If McGreevy was starting for you, it was, every fifth day, Michael McGreevy was out there getting a start. You see what he's able to do. Like, you look at the stat line and nothing special. Like, no strikeouts today for any of the Cardinal pitchers. But he's a bulldog. I think that's what Bernie called him. I mean, that nickname fits so well. He is a bulldog to where he goes out there. You just take that second inning, for example. You get 2 runners on base. I think there was 1 out, no outs. You get out of it with nothing. Or no, they got 1 run in that. And you look and you're like, okay, well, he fought out of that. Like, there was a lot of traffic on the bases, but he gets out of it. And next thing you know, you look up, there he is, getting a ground ball to get out of the 6th inning, and then boom, one run through 6 innings. And you're like, that's a Michael McGreevy start. There's nothing about it that you're going to look at and you're not going to go, man, 6 innings, 15 strikeouts, something like that. He goes out there and he gets outs. There are 27 outs a game. He's going out there and he's getting you at least 18 of them before he hands it off to whoever's in the bullpen.
Yeah, definitely calm, cool, and collected in situations. And that is something, like you said, eating up innings, a solid performance. It's so nice to see that consistency out of a Cardinal starter, and especially one that came up, like you said, late in the season. It does sense a little bit of frustration to think the what ifs, like you said, the tuned out, and that's a term I'm going to use because I couldn't find something for a while to figure out like what the best expression of my sense for the rest of the Cardinal season is. But man, it could be a little bit different if McGreevy was up a little bit earlier in the season.
It has to be at least 4 wins. I think that's, if you look and you compare what a normal McGreevy start was to whatever the hell it was that Eric Fetty gave you when he went out there and made starts, I think you look at it, and I think at minimum, you can add 4 wins onto what this total is right now. And it doesn't put you in that 3rd wild card spot, but it puts you a hell of a lot closer to it.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And I think that's some of the Cardinal fans are sensing some of that frustration just a little bit playing that what if game, but how can you blame them? I mean, after this season, I think everyone's going to just be like, well, what if this, what if that, because you're looking for answers and not just wanting to completely mail in the rest of the season. Pedro Pages stepping up big once again, not really what they expected, just over the 379 number on the wall. And putting another one up for himself, though, his 5th home run of the August. And that was pretty much what sealed the deal for the Birds, making it 4-2 outside of the last portion of that game there.
Yeah, it made it a little, made you, let you breathe a little easier, I think, from what we saw happen in that 9th inning. I'm sure we'll get into that at some point. But in the month of August, Pedro Pages, 16 games, as you mentioned, 5 home runs, 15 RBIs, hitting over 350 with an OPS over 1,000 for a guy who all season long, I mean, throughout the entire season, in April, 23 games started. May, 19 games started. June, 23. July, 17. August, tomorrow will be number 18 unless they let Jimmy Crooks start, which I think the plan right now. But you look at what he's putting up in the month of August. OPSs every single month, 650, 550, 650, 300. Sarah, if you remember, I mean, back in July, around the All-Star break, we were looking at this like, okay, like, who's going to be your catcher next year? Because Pedro Pages isn't a major league catcher.
Right.
It was to the point, like, I think that average kind of dipped below. It was getting real close to about 200. I mean, hell, alone in the month of July, he hit 143.
Yikes.
143. He was 8 for 56 in the month of July. And I don't, there was never, I think, talk of DFA or anything like that, but you kind of looked at that and you said, okay, you're going to ride it out with Pedro Pages, and that's going to be your upgrade for next season. So for him to put this effort out in the month of August, it does, again, not letting them rope me into thinking that there's any kind of playoff push happening in September. But it's going to be a lot of watching guys like Pedro Pages along with all the other runway guys to see, all right, what are they going to give you and where are they going to fit into the 2026 plans?
Yeah, absolutely. They're still playing for a spot and still playing for, a lot of their future as well. Even though the team's not going to be going too far into the postseason at all, it's still a contention in the players in their minds. Jeremy Hodge right here. This is what I was going to get to. We finally have a 20 home run guy in Willson Contreras. And that was the top of the seventh, his 20th home run, as mentioned, 431 feet, an absolute bomb over the Reds bullpen, and just got a hold of that one. I think he ripped it. But heading into tonight's game, 1 for 18 into play before today. So his 6th home run of the August month, and that was all on the road.
Yeah, and that's, you knew somebody was going to get to 20, but again, frustrating is a word that I think many of us have used so many times with this team this season, because you just, for a team that has all these guys that you look at, Gorman, you look at Walker, you look at Contreras, and you think, okay, we got some power in this lineup, and it takes you to almost September to get a 20 home run guy. And then you kind of look at how you build the lineup from that. I've said before, I'm a huge Alec Burleson fan. Love watching him hit. He's not a number 3 hitter. You put him on any playoff team, he's not hitting third. He's a 5th or 6th guy that he's gonna, if the bases are clogged, he could go out there and he could get a single, a double, and drive them in. He's not hitting home runs for you, and it's just, the makeup of this team overall. There's a lot of question marks about it, and you do still have to figure out how Willson Contreras fits into everything too.
So Leo mentions watching the young guys play, whether they win or lose, it's fun. I don't want to see Arenado anywhere but in the dugout for the rest of the season. So another topic to discuss. No Burleson, no Donovan, no Arenado right now, maybe a Victor Scott soon. So quite a few guys that are still into this mix that we're not looking at right now.
Yeah, and who knows how much longer Mason Winn keeps pushing himself this season. I thought I said it on the air yesterday that I was kind of, it was kind of hinted that he was going to be going on the IL, and we haven't seen that yet. Instead, he led off in the game today for the Cardinals. So Mason Winn keeps pushing himself more and more, and again, at some point, I think the Cardinals just kind of have to go to Mason Winn and say, listen, like, you're done for the year. Like, you're 21, 20, whatever he is, 22, 23 years old. Like, you have a lot of time left with this organization. We're good. You've proven yourself. You've seen this. Leo also chimed in earlier with this too, that he'll be at the game tomorrow and wants to know if anybody in the chat wants a Andre Plante home run ball.
Hey, let us know. Let us know. We'll see how that works out for him. Going back to the topic on Mason Winn, I have to say I am a little bit surprised, kind of similar to you, that they haven't shut him down yet, because he's openly said he's been fighting this for a while, even back to high school. It's kind of been nagging. You would think, I mean, granted, I'm not a doctor. I'm not the Cardinals medical team, their medical staff. They know way more than we do about any of this. I mean, there's so much that goes on behind the scenes. But like you, I would be like, let's shut him down, let him heal, get everything going, get to the off season so that he can like really focus on what the key issue is and make sure it doesn't come back instead of let him play through. I'm kind of surprised by that. I really am.
And it could just be a case of them, looking for something that's going to tip them off, that, shows them, okay, he's done. Like that's we're good on that. And until you see that, and again too, I also wonder, because right now, I mean, they're for Mason Winn, he is, I think, far and away in the lead right now for the Gold Glove at shortstop in the National League.
Yeah.
If he
That's
misses all of September, how does that impact his chances at winning that award? Like,
yeah,
do
that's
you give him 10 days, 14 days in September, and then just, okay, you wrap it up then and assume he's done enough? Because I think if you shut him down before the final month of the season, is that a bad look for that? Because there's all those, there's bonuses, there's all this stuff attached to winning these awards, that this isn't the Pirates organization cutting guys before they reach incentives. I mean, the Cardinals probably want Mason Winn to bring home another Gold Glove shortstop to the organization.
right. And I think Mason Winn wants to bring home Gold Glove at
Mm-hmm.
shortstop. And like you said, incentives, contractual agreements, bonuses, all those perks. That's another thing that goes into this. When he openly said, I've just been wanting to play through and pushing through, that very well could be the case. And having just another reason yet to keep on going until they give him a legit reason.
Yeah. So I think that probably does play a lot into it. So, and it could be there may be some butting of heads. there may be some people that want to sit him out, but I would imagine there's other people too that want to see him, that do want to see him get that award.
So we're taking a couple of these wins from the Cincinnati Reds. They're not so hot right now themselves, outside of the 2 wins against the Cardinals, or losses rather, against the Cardinals. But tomorrow, it's already been mentioned, Palante's on the mound against Singer. Palante at 6-12, 5.44 in run average. Singer at 11-9, 4.06 ERA in the year. Mason Windu thinking the Cardinals put a fork in the Reds' postseason aspirations. Well, heck, they could have done the same to us. I mean, we're both kind of done, right? Like, I don't see the Cincinnati Reds really doing too much when it comes to anything else.
Yeah, right now they are 5 games out. The Cardinals did jump the Giants and the Diamondbacks with the win today. I think the Giants are still playing the Cubs right now. I think that game's still going on. I'm not sure what the Diamondbacks have either, but again, I mean, if we're gonna say the Cardinals are out of it at 5.5 out, then I think we also have to admit,
100%.
yeah, the Reds are out of it at 5 out too. We have seen crazier things happen. I don't think you have the horses on this team like you had back in 2011 to make that magic happen. It still would be nice to see, just not completely out of it by the time we get to that final weekend of the season, and maybe something worth playing for, at least on that Friday afternoon game in Chicago against the Cubs before the in that final weekend series. But again, I think 500 is the goal now, to hang out around that part of the hang out around there, and see if you can at least get above that. I, I mean, it's minor goals at this point.
Yeah, minor goals and little wins, little capitalizations that we can hopefully carry into the next season. So we were texting during the game, and of course, the Reds have that huge pitcher, 6'6", I think they said 275, and his
Yeah.
nickname you mentioned, Big Sugar, and they're describing him. They're like, yeah, because he looks like a big chunk of or lump of sugar out there. And I'm like, that sounds so positive, man. That's how I got my nickname, because I look like a big lump of sugar on the mound.
Zach Maxwell, yeah, hitting triple digits. That's a great. I saw that, and then what was it last week? I think it was some Big 12 school. Whoever was playing in that game over in Europe last week, there was a guy on that team. His name was something orange, and his nickname was Big Citrus. And they're such simple nicknames, but they really are. That's such a good baseball nickname to have out there. That, and you're getting a lot of these now. The guy from the Red Sox, I'm not even going to try to pronounce what his name is, but they call him the password, because it's such a ridiculously spelled first name. So
That's definitely
I it didn't even cross my mind that we could see that we could see Big Sugar today, because I know he got called up last week. But you had Big Sugar, at 275, and Pedro Pages homering off of him at 245. So a combined 520 pounds accounted for that home run in the late innings today.
Yeah, they said he set a record, Major League Baseball, because his second pitch in the big leagues was 102, and then he struck out 5 guys. His second pitch ever on his Major League debut. I was like, geez, he's just tossing gas. No fear. Major League debut. Usually you're a little nervous, right? And he's just rifling it in there. So
you think the adrenaline, I mean, that you would think that's happened before, just the adrenaline of being in there for your first major league appearance and just letting one, I mean, might not be a strike, might not hit the catcher, but
it went in the vicinity.
Yeah, but just, I mean, if you can hit triple digits and you got the adrenaline flowing, that first pitch, I'm surprised it doesn't happen more often than not, where you see guys hitting record numbers in their first their first big league pitch.
I think that would probably get into my head, if anything, getting a case of the ankiel or the yips. If my second major league pitch, we used the backstop as a pitchback, that probably wouldn't be a very good mental approach. Gill design above 500 fans or 500 record?
Yeah, he was asking if I was which one I was going for
Yeah.
when I said 500 is the goal at the end of the year. Yeah, both. I think. Yeah, that the A's Tuesday, Wednesday games might be a little rough again. Same as they were for the for the Pirates last week. So I think Monday, it's a holiday. It's supposed to be nice weather. Hopefully that you get a decent crowd out there for that one.
And then I think the Giants come to St. Louis because Friday.
Yeah, that's the Hall of Fame. Yep.
Yeah, we're going to the game for the 85 reunion, like get together or whatever, to go see all of our old buddies out there. So that should be fun. But I honestly didn't look to see who we were playing at the time, because I was like, I'm more worried about yapping up with some friends than I am really watching the game, because usually that happens. You get there and then the game's over. Stan the fan mentioning, didn't the Reds have a pitcher named Jumbo?
Jumbo Diaz, 6'4", 315 pounds. Yeah. Yeah. pitched for the Reds, made his major league debut in 2014. Yeah. Reds have had some big boys on their mound over the year. I think David Wells pitched for the Reds for a brief period of time. I'm going to say Jonathan Broxton. I thought he was a Red for a minute.
Ray King for the Cardinals. He was 6 foot. I just looked him up. 250.
Who was that?
Ray King.
Yeah, Ray King. He was
tall. He was just a little stockier.
Yeah, I'm just thinking in Reds history, they have had some very large pitchers in their day. Bartolo Colon, I don't think ever made his way through Cincinnati, but Bartolo was he got up there too towards the end of his career. Yeah.
As Leo is saying, that's the corn-fed talent.
Yeah.
You can definitely say that.
Appreciate everybody watching tonight, by the way, because you mentioned it's a holiday weekend. It's basically a holiday today, the first day of college football, too. So I've been triple screening it all day long with college football on, and then switching over to the Cardinal game when that started. So it's appreciate everybody that's jumped in tonight to talk Redbirds with us.
Absolutely. Well, let's go ahead and thank our sponsors and our advertisers who have been with us for quite a while now, since the beginning, and that would be the DraftKings Missouri. Get ready. The wait is almost over. DraftKings Sportsbook, America's top-rated sportsbook app, is coming soon to the Show Me State, and you can sign up today. New Missouri customers can get $300 in bonus bets when we launch on December 1st. Download now and place a $5 bet when we go live. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use the code STO Sports to grab $300 in bonus bets with just a $5 bet when we go live. That's code STO Sports in partnership with DraftKings Sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus, physically present in the state of Missouri. Eligibility restrictions apply. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance and excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Terms at sportsbook.draftkings.com/promos.
You'll have a lot of fun with that, Missouri. You'll have a lot of fun with that over there in Missouri.
Yeah, I know, because you're on the other side of the river.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, hasn't been a good day, but
So once again, the Cardinals taking one from Cincinnati tonight by a final score of 4-2. McGreevy, absolutely fantastic on the mound once again for his start tomorrow. Palante will wrap it up for the Cards against Cincinnati, I believe 11:15 first pitch. So we appreciate you joining us here this evening. Subscribe, like, hang out with us often, all the time, 24/7. Amazing content provided by that guy right there, Joe Roderick. Also Bernie, you've got Randy Carricker, Brooke Grimsley, a whole crew, all the Mizzou and the Illinois guys now. The coverage just goes on and on. So
City post game coming up in about an hour from now too. So another post game show coming up after us.
So if we don't see you soon, if not me tomorrow or the next day, have a wonderful rest of your holiday weekend. Enjoy it. Hopefully the Cardinals will bring home maybe a series sweep, but dare I say it, against the Cincinnati Reds tomorrow. So thanks for joining us tonight. Have a great one. We'll see you soon.